The name of the book is Living Craft Traditions of India, chapter number 2, Clay. The art of pottery is probably as old as human history. No other art traces the story of human beings on this earth as clearly as pottery does. The tides of time have washed away many civilizations, but evidence of their existence remains in fragments of pottery. There are two reasons why this is true. First is that the clay is found in abundance and in practically all parts of the world. The second is that clay objects are the least perishable of all materials. The history of pottery tells that the daily life of human beings, their deaths and burial, of human migration, trade and conquest, cultural practices and influences. As to the discovery of how clay could be manipulated to make pottery, it is easy to imagine how, as prehistoric communities walked through the rain soaked mud, they noticed their footprints and how these impressions become hardened by the wind and sun. Exactly when human beings intentionally used these discoveries for making pottery is unknown, but it may have been invented independently in many parts of the world. However, the process of making a pot is long and difficult one that has evolved over many generations of trial and experiment. What is clay? Clay is universally found as it forms part of the Earth's crust that developed due to weathering over thousands of years. In India, different types of clay are found along riverbeds and banks, lakes and ponds, and agricultural lands. The clay is essentially silica, but the varying mineral content in clay adds to its color and determines how suited it is for different processes. Clay is cleaned by removing large stony particles, gravel, and humus. When clay is mixed with water, it becomes malleable, elastic, thinner. Clay solutions can be created to use as paint for walls and on sculptures. By controlling the amount of water that is mixed with clay, it can be used in different ways. It can be made into creamy compound that can be poured into molds and allowed to set. It can be mixed to a leathery consistency and cut like a sponge. When dry, the surface can be scraped off as a fine powder. Straw and grass can be added to create a strong, rough texture ideal for the creation of very large images. So each artist treats clay differently to suit the type of object that is to be created. Pottery. Artists through the ages have loved clays as it is the most sensitive material on earth, for it captures the slightest touch or the gentlest imprint. As soon as the clay object is dried or fried, chemical change occurs and the object becomes rigid and is no longer sensitive to touch. Clay of some kind or the other can be found almost anywhere in the world, and also in India too. Has an unbroken continuous history. Artists have used clay to produce objects for the home, cooking pots, roof tiles, clay bricks, and sculptures. Clay objects are prepared using two basic techniques: wheel turned pottery and hand modeling. A variety of processes within these two techniques have evolved. First one, wheel turned pottery. The earliest method of making pots for storage may have used the cowling technique. The artist rolls out strips of clay and then spaces one coil upon another, joining them together with his fingers to form hollow pot. The most important change came with the invention of potter's wheel. There are many kinds of wheel used in India today. First is a simple flat stone or wooden disc that is turned with a hand or a stick. By placing soft lump of clay on the center of disc and turning the wheel, the potter can change the shape of the clay. By varying the presence of his or her fingers and palms, she can create a pot of different sizes and shapes. By pushing with her thumbs shown into center of the ball of clay and pulling gently outward and upward, the shape of hollow pot takes form. Another types of wheel is mounted on a vertical shaft. By extending the shaft and adding another disc at the bottom, it is possible to turn the wheel with the feet, leaving the both hands free to make the pot. Today, even motorized wheels are used. Hand modeling. Modeling is a process used within minerals like clay, wax, or plaster. Clay modeling enables the artist to work from the inside core to the outside. Artist begins with well mixed lump of clay and starts working with his fingers to give it shape and form. Clay can be rolled, coiled, pinched, and also attached to various forms to give its shapes. This technique has several advantages that the artist can use to create sculpture. He can add legs and arms to the figure by wetting a smaller piece of clay, rolling it and attaching it to the main body. The process gives the artist freedom to change, modify and repair area at will. If, for example, nose of the figures falls off, artist can just wet dry clay piece and stick it back to the face. He can then continue to add smaller details to hair, bangles, and necklace in clay. Decoration. Clay offers endless possibilities to create textures and designs on wet surface of pots which can be pressed or imprinted, cut out or added like applique, and then many parts of clay object can be assembled together to forge a cohesive whole. Painting. After firing, the craftsperson can pour a slip, which is a thin liquid solution of clay that gives clay object an even color. The sculpture can be painted with mineral colors to avoid the value of its appearance. Sometimes clay objects such as pots and diyas are also painted. What is terracotta? Once a clay object is made, it can be dried in the sun and fired in local kiln made of cow dung and wood. This process forms the clay into terracotta. Uh, Clay can be fired at different temperatures from 700 to 1400 degrees Celsius. The intensity of heat and the type of firing gives terracotta its color and hue that change from dark brown to lively reds. Once fired, the terracotta becomes insoluble, unplastic, and durable. On firing, the clay loses its chemically combined water, becomes hard and almost imperishable. That way, 5,000-year-old seals from the Harappan civilization still exist. Making of giant figures. Traditional potters live and work in almost every part of India. Pottery is specialized profession and often community lives together in separate section of the village or town. Each potter or kumhar has skill to create hundreds of pots for different uses, from huge storage jars for grain and water to tiny oil lamps for Diwali. He can design a child's toy and sculpt giant figurines for worship as well. To make giant figures, artists have evolved various techniques. One of them is to make each piece of the figure on potter's wheel. This is to prevent the clay figurine from baking when it is fired on in the kiln. When the clay is fired, it contracts considerably owing to the loss of water and moisture. A solid model made up of ordinary clay would burst under a pressure of heat of the kiln. A sculpture with uneven wall thickness would warp and crack, therefore using potter's skill in creating all parts of figure in which the walls are of even thickness is a unique way of overcoming the problem. The potter throws clay to create hollow shapes of the legs, body, neck of the figure he wants to create. These individual pieces are then assembled by the potter to create the required form. The four pot shaped legs are attached to the hollow torso. To this, artist adds bits of paint, pressed, and coiled clay for decoration. This unusual process involves imaginative use of material, and a great deal of effectiveness goes into making the form both technically sound and aesthetically satisfying. Some of the votive figures are 2 meters high, and their towering presence only adds to the genius of the village potter. Potters make these figures for their patrons in the lieu of money or food. Clay through the ages. 3000 to 1500 BCE. Harappan civilization. Small figures of animals, domesticated animals like bull and the ram. Tiny images of house animals like bird in cage, cats, lively Indian squirrels munching on juicy nut. Toys for children similar to clay toys made for children today by the village potter and sold at the hats of village or bazaar like bull with movable nodding head. 300 to 100 BC, Maurya and Songa periods. Clay figurines from excavations at Patliputra, the ancient Mayuran capital, Kosambi, Gaya, and other important cities of Mayuran and Gupta periods. 1000 BCE to 300 CE. Kushan period. In the northwestern region of India, the Greco-Buddhist stupas were often decorated with stucco designs and motifs. There are several Gandharan heads with evidence of paint. Strong red mineral colors were used for the lips, and black charcoal hues for matted locks and curly hair. 300 to 1000 BC, 1000 C. Gupta and post Gupta periods. The life size terracotta sculptures were used to decorate temples and secular buildings. 1600 to 1800. The local rulers of Vaishnapur in West Bengal built temples in a unique style that were profusely decorated with terracotta plaques and stucco patterns. 1900 to 2000. Despite colonial exploitation, the potter has continued to innovate and work. Every village, town, and city in India has a vibrant living tradition of pottery that is unique to its tradition. Giant clay figures of India. Votive terracotta figures are made in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. In Bastar on Amavasya of Bhadrapad, tribals offer terracotta bulls, tigers, elephant, and horses, sometimes with one or two riders, to the goddess whom they worship for wealth, health, and protection from evil spirits. These clay animal gifts or votive offerings have replaced the practice of animal sacrifices in earlier times. In Tamil Nadu, the dramatic larger than life size image of Ennar, the local deity, is surrounded by a sea of attendants, horses, and bulls. They serve as Gram Devatas who stand at the entrance of village to protect it. During Durga Puja in West Bengal, enormous figures of goddess are created. The artists use different techniques and mixtures of natural materials to make these excellent stately statues. They follow the traditional practice to create inner core with local grasses bound together to form the legs, arms, and head. The grasses are often swathed within cotton cloth. Then layer upon layer of clay is carefully applied to the body of goddess to gradually build it up. Over a period of several days, each layer is allowed to dry completely so that no cracks appear and there is no warping. Once a ray, the entire figure of goddess is painted with natural mineral colors. After this, the figure is dressed in sari and adorned with jewelry made of paper and artificial jewels and garlands of flowers before it is ready to worship. Ornately decorated clay horses, huge armies of terracotta figures, and assemblies of village deities with their attendants can be seen under the trees in village grounds in Bankura district, West Bengal. So, exercise. So, there are 8 questions. Question 1. No technique emerges in a day. Is any craft a technique is sharpened over centuries? What do you think were the various stages that pottery making went through that led to use of wheeling pottery? Describe in detail. Question 2. How many parts of India water is stored in clay pots? What aspects of the design and material of surya or matka make it as suitable for storing drinking water in summer? Question 3. With reference to photographs given below, identify the different techniques used by artists to create each plaque, pot, vat, votive object. The history of pottery tells of the daily life of human beings, death and burial of human migration, trade and conquest, culture, practice and influence. Survey 10 houses in your neighborhood and create table of various pottery objects found there giving information regarding when they are used, their shape, how they are used, and from where they were obtained, especially refer to the daily life, rituals, trades, and transport in the surveyed households. Question number 5. The invention of the wheel had a profound effect. The invention of the wheel had profound effect on every aspect of human life. Explain the many uses of the wheel and how each has changed human life and culture through ages. Question 6. Why do you think pottery is specialized profession from the point of view of skill, tools, techniques and entrepreneurship? Question 7. On the internet, search for new houses of clay in industry, in homes, in science, in space travel. It is question 8. Artists, poets, writers through ages have used the image metaphor for pottery. Find examples to illustrate the concept of Indian art and literature. Create your own poem using clay as symbol.